Well, welcome to another edition of GW Unspoken, where we discuss stuff we don't typically talk about, but probably should. And I've got a very special guest here. We're in the library. Who have I got here?
Jackson Foster.
Mate, I have just met you again, but I believe you played against us in footy, in a footy crowd. And we're going to get into that in a second, all right? But obviously, I just want to acknowledge the Cubby Cubby tribe. We're here at the moment in the land at North Lakes. Check in out of 5. How are you feeling right now? So one is terrible, 5 is awesome. How are you feeling right now?
Yeah, I'm about a 5 actually.
Yeah, that's
pretty
good.
Excited, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. And what's something you're really grateful for at the moment? In your life, what are you grateful for? Yeah.
Just life itself, I guess, really. Yeah. I think it's a blessing to be waking up every day.
Yeah, okay.
I've got 3 little daughters out there, so I've got twin girls. And
have you?
All that, so I'm grateful, just having kids in my life.
It's good. Well, I was going to ask you the next question. That'd probably be part of it, but I was going to say, in 30 to 60 seconds, roughly, who are you? If you had to describe yourself,
probably just a proud country boy, proud father, proud of my heritages. So my father's actually American background and my mum's Aboriginal. So I'm a bit of a mixture. I call myself a Aboriginal.
Love it.
Good laugh.
Love it. And you said family, three kids.
Yeah, so I got 3 daughters and a stepdaughter as well. So
Oh, good on you. And what are their ages?
So my twins are 3. My little girl, she just turned 1 about a couple of days ago.
Oh, nice.
And then my stepdaughter, she's about 17 months. So,
mate, you got your hands full.
Yeah, I'm starting a good old girls team out in the bush.
Yeah, nice. We've got a footy team going in a few years. That's too easy. The girls rugby league's going ahead and leaps and bounds too. So
yeah, I think I'm dedicated to be a girl dad. I think.
Yeah, good on you. And so, where's your mob from?
So I'm part of 4 clans. So I'm from Woolly Woolly, Waka Waka, Gungri, and Kamilaroi.
Okay.
So Woolly Woolly's more up north, like above Waka Waka. So Waka Waka, Sherburgh. Gungri is out in Mitchell, so in the Marinora area.
Okay, yeah.
And then Kamilaroi, my nan's father's from Moree.
Okay.
So just about probably an hour and a half from Gundawindi down in New South Wales.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, nice. All right. Lovely. Now, let's get to know you a bit more. Let's start off. Whereabouts were you mainly brought up? So before, around school time, primary school and stuff, where were you brought up?
I was raised in Miles, Queensland. So in the Western Downs region.
Okay. Yep. And did you go to school there?
Yeah, so I went there from prep all the way to about year 9, and then, I made my way to the city, yeah.
Okay. And what was primary school like for you?
Yeah, it was a bit of a good old hit and miss. So me personally, I wasn't really a smart kid, and I was a bit different because I was always big.
Okay.
So I dealt with a lot of bullies, and I had black teeth as well, so which was another good thing.
Okay.
So it was kind of up and down, but I was very grateful for a man called Adam Myers, which was the principal of the school, and he knew that I had difficulties, and he kind of saved my life with my schooling. Yeah.
Okay. And so you're talking about bullies. You're talking about mainly people bullying you.
Yeah.
Because of the way you looked, and was it because of your heritage as well?
Oh, I really didn't actually discover. I was kind of that person that hid away from my heritage because, back in those days, I guess if you're considered a black fella, they used to just, discriminate you straight away, like drunks and, come from that sort of background. So I kind of didn't really know about my heritage. I knew I was Aboriginal, but it wasn't until, I kind of like made my way up north to Cairns and got in touch a little bit there and discovered it more really when I came to the city too. So
yeah, okay. And I was going to ask you too, and it's okay if it's okay to ask you this, but my wife, same thing, came from like English side or British side and Indigenous side, and she used to get bullied a lot from the Indigenous people saying, you're only a halfie, you're actually not a real Indigenous person. And she used to get physically belted. And so there was a time where she was trying to sort of, do I be proud heritage from my mother's side or just hide back? Did you feel that as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I kind of felt like I was like the black sheep really. So I kind of didn't know like sort of my place really. So because same with like the footy background, like I thought I was only well known in the Miles region, not because of who I was, but just more for footy because I was good at footy. So
okay. And then you said there was a mentor who was actually the principal there. Took him the wings. So how'd that look? What'd that look like? Yeah, so
I used to just cop the bullying until about grade 5. I started stepping up and realised I don't have to take this no more, and kind of led to, I became a bully, which is pretty sad too. I used to bully bullies.
Okay.
Yeah.
You had enough and now you're getting back.
Oh, yeah. I used to fight every day. I was suspended every day. Like I was pretty full on. And then that's why Mr. Myers, he actually came when I was in prep. So we were his favourite grade because he kind of watched us develop as into young men and women. And then, he knew that I used to lock in suspended so I didn't have to come to school. So he knew about it, and so he started internally suspending me where I had to come to school and sit in his office. Yeah,
so he could still mentor you, right?
Yeah, and then kind of like graduated where I just stayed with him. So, and then, he did a lot of things for me, noticing that I couldn't sit still in classes and I didn't like authority and, really didn't like authority. And then, I was getting to the point where, I started graffitiing and getting into bad habits and taking it outside the school, and I got sent on an actual juvie camp.
Wow.
Which was out in Emu Gully. They took me out there and, kind of like broke us down. And so he did he did those kind of programs for me to try and help develop me, and didn't really, it didn't really work when you go back to a same situation, if that makes sense. So like I'd go have a time of my life and then come back to the exact same reality of bullying, racism. And
you go back in that vicious cycle again?
Yeah, pretty much. And then it wasn't until, I came up to Brisbane when I was about in year 9, and I met Sid Doyle, or Sid and my father played at Stafford Bulldogs back in the day, and so Sid knew me as a baby, but didn't really hadn't seen me for graduate years, and Sid I remember didn't really remember much really. I just remember Dad said I had to go to this program for footy, and which was the MIUI program, and I remember going to I think it was the Brighton Oval, and over in North Brisbane, and then I met like family members I never met before, and kind of brought me into the program. And then my family made the decision to move to Brisbane, then I can do the program full time then. Yeah,
wow. Let's go back, if it's okay, to your family. Like when you're back in grade 5 and 6 and you're struggling, and you said you started step up now and not cop the bullying anymore and give it back.
Yeah.
And you're often suspended. Before you were internally suspended, like how did you go at home when you were suspended? The folks?
Yeah, you get a couple of sprays, and then I think my mum actually realised what was happening. Like teachers weren't really addressing the situations and weren't doing it, and then there was a lot of times there, I would become got to the point where I'd just run away and be homeless, and I'd be living out of cars, jumping from family home to family home. One time. I remember one time I was going to stay at a park and stuff like that. So it got pretty serious. And because I remember, I can remember my whole childhood, I'd do prep to year 2 in Miles, and then I'd go to Roma for year 3, and then I'd be back in Miles. So I was always jumping all over the place.
Yeah. So I'm guessing too, the associations too, if you're jumping from car to car, house to house, in parks, there being a lot of things around, like the drugs, alcohol, a lot of things around too, influence on you?
Yeah, as they say, it's typically what Aboriginal fellas see really in communities and stuff like that, which is not a proud thing to say, and that's why I hope that our people do change cycles. This sort of thing does affect kids in the future, whether you're from the 1900s to the 2000s, it still does affect people these days. So I saw all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and I think, and as you know too, it's not just an Indigenous thing, right? But we stereotypically say the Indigenous people were doing that, so they must be Indigenous. They must be involved with that, but it's 100% not that. But we believe that, don't we? As a society, we often go down that stereotypical track, and it's sad.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's sad. And I wonder how many. And I'll be careful here because I'm a teacher. I wonder how many teachers didn't support you because they had a stereotypical view of you being an Indigenous person.
Yeah, I highly agree with that because I used to see kids get treated differently to me. I remember in year 7 that I actually was put at the back of the classroom away from the actual class, and I was put on a computer. That's all I was doing.
Oh, just to babysit you, basically. Just be quiet back there and
pretty much
stay busy.
And then halfway through the day, I'll get put out with the groundsmen, do hard labour and just do labour. That was my whole entire year 7, I remember.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. So
would you have rather done that than schoolwork?
Oh, absolutely.
So I'm going to win there.
Absolutely. Yeah, I actually learnt a lot off that groundsman, which was Mr. Gray. His name was called. Yeah. So
it's amazing you're listening. You're remembering your mentors, and now you did mention Sid Doyle. So let's go through that journey now. You've gone to grade 9, I believe you said, and you've found this footy program. Mutual friend, Sid and your dad.
Yeah.
You then met long lost family members. So you must have felt like you're part of a community, and I'm presuming then your folks must have thought, there's hope here now. There's hope here. There's some passion here that my boys got. So can you take us through a little bit of that journey there?
Well, that's the first time I've actually seen any other culture. So I never met Māori, Samoan, Tongans before in my life. I've only saw, non-Indigenous and Indigenous. So it was kind of, never really grew up with traffic lights and beaches. And, so it was very eye-opening because, we got pretty serious about the program and all that because, we'd brought up the caravan and I was living in the caravan and, and doing that for a lot of time. I was in the caravan, I remember in 2012 from October all the way till February the next year in the caravan so I can do the program.
With who?
With Sid.
Oh, you and Sid were in the caravan together?
No, me and my father. So.
And doing the program with Sid, but you guys were living in a caravan just to give you the opportunity to...
Yeah, in right across from the Earnshaw School.
Oh, yeah? Earnshaw College there?
Yeah, so I was literally at my godfather's house in his backyard, so I can do the program, start my career and start getting used to the areas. It was a big thing, and then when I met all the boys, I still remember boys to this day, Caleb McGrady, and I'm actually still in touch with a lot of those boys now. My first city friend that I still remember is Quinn Ashan.
Yeah, wow.
So I remember these boys clear as day because they made a bit of impact in my life, and I still talk to them to this day after 12 years. So
well, it sounds like you're really grateful too because you could easily go based on your background, what you've gone through. Go with the trauma. You could have gone the other way, but even now you're listing your mentors like school principals and now these people. Like you mentioned Sid again, and you're saying that these people made a massive impact in your life.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how does the footy program fit in? And did you start then changing your ways at school, at high school? Did you continue on with 10, 11, 12? How did that work?
Yeah, well, the program wasn't it was the first time in my life where I didn't realise that footy was more than just rocking up and training and just playing in the sport physically. It's more about the impression off the field too. So Sid influenced us boys, it's important to rock up in slacks and, dress appropriately. It was more learning manners, learning when to speak, not to speak, and, just respecting who was talking and really taking it in, what they're saying, because it does influence. And then when I started going to Deception Bay High School, I started bringing the principles that Sid was teaching from a footy aspect into a learning classroom. So I became I was an E straight student in Miles.
Very consistent, yep.
Yeah, very consistent, and I got the records to prove it. And then I actually became a A and B student, which was I actually never thought I'd get an A in my life, to be honest.
Okay, so now this is where we have to go back a bit, right? So you said to me that you weren't a smart kid.
No.
You told me you weren't a smart kid, right?
No,
when you were back in a primary school, but you were a smart kid, really.
Yeah,
you just didn't have that faith in yourself. You just need a mentor to bring it out of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I thought I actually just like I said, the black sheep I didn't think the way other people think, and then Sid taught us boys that everyone has a different thinking perspective, and that's your strongest point. Nice. It was just a matter of just happening how you think, and then when I started doing more programs with Sid, I remember the programs were I think we did the program every fortnight. And, the more I learned, because we didn't just train, we did a lot of theory work in classrooms in the MeWe program. So connecting to culture, whether you're a Polynesian or, it doesn't matter what background, because the program was for everyone. It wasn't for just Indigenous boys.
So can you take us through a little bit what the program entailed? I'm guessing it sounds like it's a pretty broad program, but still has specific outcomes, right?
Yep.
So what are some of the major things that you remembered that maybe helped change your perception of, I'm a dumb kid, Indigenous kid who gets bullied and whatever, I'll never be much. I'll just go and help the groundsman and be quiet and I'll be kept, to now being a B student, D Bay High. And it sounds like this footy program has actually influenced you a lot. So what are some of the key takeaways? What are some of the things that you think that you can remember of going, yep, that was a significant moment? Can you pinpoint some?
Yeah, well, I remember one of the main things was the mentors there, like Sid, Lucas, Denny. I remember another father, I think his name was Tristan. He was doing West Brisbane, high football programs. They actually just sat there and listened. That was a big thing.
Yeah.
Listen to our stories, listen to who we are as people, so how they knew how to develop us. And then I remember one time we were sitting, we came into the first time we did theory, and we were wondering we had all these Indigenous paintings everywhere, and just massive Nico pens with paper. And, I I don't know what Sid saw in me, but that fella used to make me go up in front of everyone all the time.
Get in your comfort zone.
Oh yeah. He got me. Like I was like a mouse. I was like the big mouse. Like just wouldn't talk. I'd be silent.
And 14, 15 years old, roughly, or
year 9. So I think I was about 14, 15, and then I remember standing up there and pretty much Sid said, "Oh, these fellas are here, are the people that are going to be writing out the story," and he wanted to know our perspective of the story of the painting. So we sat there, and then he put us in groups, like mixed us all up, because there's a lot of boys that from D-Bay area that I knew.
Yeah.
So they were in the program as well, and then there was Waterford boys, like all over Brisbane, and he just mixed us up, like, and we were just all. And I don't know what Sid saw in me, but yes, I remember Sid pulled me. One conversation, Sid pulled me away and said, "Well, you're just a born leader," and I didn't know what that meant. And then I kind of understood it, over the year, and then so then it got to the point where I was leading the groups and sort of theory work, so, which was quite scary. And so they were all big things. Like Sid used to pull me aside all the time for chats, and Lucas Denny was pulling me aside on the footy field. So, and then Tristan, I think that's his name. Forgive me, Tristan, if you listen, if that's your name. But so he used to pull me away, and he was a sort of person that used to build my confidence up as well.
Yeah,
so they all did something different.
All aspects of your life. It wasn't just footy. It wasn't rock up playing footy.
Definitely. I actually saw MeWe as more than footy. It was more like a family and based knowledge organisation. Like we went on camps that, we went to, Sid would bring me along to, like, even after I did the program, to we went to Queensland Sports Academy where the high athletes trained, and he brought me, I went from being a person in the program to being a mentor of myself. So I was quite privileged from Sid doing that. And then, seeing young kids and mentoring young kids, like, pretty much my message was like, just because you've been through the hard yard doesn't mean it has to be, your
that
future.
forever.
Yeah, forever. And then I remember the camp, I went, went on the camp with, the boys. I was a part of the first camp, the MeWe camp, and it was quite funny. A lot of stories there I could tell. And we went to Runaway Bay Sports.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, well, Bay, yeah. So. Yeah.
And, the way Sid made us felt like we were actual, like, athletes coming up, like the NRL fellas. And, we're only 15 years old, and, he made us get this fella made get us up at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and we'd be out there freezing on the grass, and he would train us and then do swimming as a recovery, and then gym workouts, and then theory work. Like, it was great. And then, for like a bonding session, all us boys went over to the Runaway Bay. There was a footy ground right across the road.
Yeah.
Watched them fellas play up there, and we all went over there in our uniforms, so we felt like
you won.
Yeah. So it was just simple stuff like that. Feeling like you matter was a big thing, really. Like every fella, like there was a lot of us boys who even, like one couple of boys got looked at and got contracted through that, and they still looked at us as equals. And a lot of us boys too, we made it far in footy, but that program, a lot of the boys we talk about, that program all did a big impact on us.
Change your lives.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, all of us.
It sounds like Sid Dawes, that main actor from Coach Carter, who gets you guys all to all start to behave yourself and value things. And what I'd love to hear about the story you told about Sid too is that he is the mentor, but he's built leaders like yourselves who's gone through the mud, gone through the crap, and now you're the leaders. And you can now instill other leaders, and that's what true leadership is. It's not telling; it's actually building. And it sounds like you're going through that same journey yourself.
He even got to the point where he wanted to see our report cards. Okay. Like, he really wanted.
So there's accountability there.
Oh yeah. Oh, he knew if we were not living up to what we were saying, he knew about it, and he would touch in whether we knew or not. I reckon Sid probably went the distance of ringing people at my school, and I wouldn't know about it.
So it wasn't just a stereotypical footy program where all the footy boys get together and they muck around, they train hard, and they muck around and they play footy and talk crap, and then it was more like a mentor program as well.
Yeah, well, like it was. Yeah, it wasn't just about footy. It was about. I think Sid was preparing us like footy is not like your a lot of young fellas out there want to make the NRL, but Sid taught us that. The reality of like all of us not going to get there one day. And then he taught us that just because you can't be out there on the field doesn't mean you can't be a part of it. You can be a physio in the NRL. You can be, a trainer. You can be a league safe. There's a lot of, and then Sid would bring league safe trainers into the program and get us our qualifications in league safe and first aid. And So yeah,
there's always a backup plan.
Oh,
there's always upskill.
I've got that many certificates from that program, which I never thought I'd get. Yeah.
And so, true reflection that program influenced your school as well, your schooling?
Yeah, well, I went and then I became the first person in my family to graduate.
Oh, good on you, mate. So, congratulations. That's awesome.
Well, technically, me and my sister, she's 2 years older than me, but she got kept down. So we graduated in the same year.
How special.
But I was becoming the first one in my family to graduate. And then I went from graduation, and I never thought I was going to go to uni. So I went to uni in Charles Darwin University and studied Indigenous leadership. So I carried on what Sid taught me, just kept going with my leaderships, and and I went to Darwin. I did a uni course that was supposed to take 6 months. I did it in 2 weeks. That's how quick I started. So my education grew, and then my story got really out there from Sid bringing me back in the programs, public speaking, and a lot of parents were recording me and sending it all over the place. And then I got offered by Brisbane, the basketball organisation of Brisbane, for the Caboolture Suns to go sing the anthem in Aboriginal language, and for
proud moment.
Yeah, it was kind of nerve wracking because I didn't think I could sing in language, and I sung for the women's and for the men's in front of probably like 6,000 people. And
that's crazy.
Yeah, up in Caboolture, they're at the biggest sports association there. So
good on you, mate. Proud of you for doing that. So good.
Yeah, no, it was a very big moment for me. I used to get confronted by a lot of parents too, sharing my story, and they'd come up to me crying, and I would be like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to make you cry," but I didn't realize that my story moved a lot of people, and so I'm very grateful that Sid. I'd say that he probably saved my life, bringing me up to the program, get me away from the situations that I was with, and and because I grew up when I was in the country, I made the Queensland teams out there for football, but because being Indigenous, no one would pay for my funding, so I never got to play for them.
Couldn't afford it.
And then through Sid's program, I got selected for the Brisbane Stingers for an Indigenous carnival up in Ipswich. So their traditional name is Camboo. So that was actually the last time it was at Ipswich, actually, that carnival. So, and then I had the opportunity to make Queensland there, but unfortunately, I got overlooked, but didn't stop me from making other rep teams. And then I made a lot of other rep teams, like Queensland tryouts for Sunshine Coast. And so, yeah.
So even your past, what you went through, probably build that resilience to keep going.
Yeah.
And even mentorship, build your resilience to keep going. Singing in front of the crowd, build your resilience to go something. I'm still dumbfounded by a couple of things you said back there when you said you went to the university degree, or you went to the university and you finished your degree faster. I'm still going back to where you said you're a dumb kid. So
yeah.
Isn't it funny how we label ourselves?
Yeah.
How people must have made you feel in that community, apart from that principle. It must have, I'm getting a bit emotional here, but it's amazing how it can affect you by a label, make you feel how you were, because people don't give you a crack or give you that opportunity.
Yeah, well, I think when someone calls you a name for so long, you actually believe it. So,
yeah.
And I think that's just with even adulthood too. A lot of people, even as an adult, label you, and then you kind of start believing it. So
yeah. So without the program, what would happen? What could you think? What do you think would have been happening?
Jail.
That's honest opinion. Incarceration doing there?
Yeah, I was on my track to juvie. I was there. I was really there. So, yeah. And then the juvie camp didn't even help me, or it kind of built that leadership. But then again, went back into the same way. But the juvie camp kind of like, oh, is this it? I just kind of thought like that. Is this it? This is nothing. I've lived harder life than this, and yeah. So, Sid was like that. The hard mentor.
When you needed.
Yeah. Well, when you go to a parent and they get up, you just laugh at a parent.
Yeah.
And now being a parent myself, I kind of realise that's a bad thing.
You got it coming with girls, mate. You got it coming.
Yeah, and then when it's someone that's not your blood and coming at you, you're like, oh, I can't really be cheeky to this bloke, I can't really.
There's going to be some kind of respect.
Yeah.
Well, if you respect, there's still be some kind of respect at the start.
And then because I had to do it every time around Sid, it kind of just grew naturally on me to be that person every day then. And I, don't get me wrong, I still have moments now and then, as any person will have it, but yeah. If it wasn't for Sid Dorr, I definitely wouldn't be the person I am.
You'd be in jail.
Yeah, I'd be there with family members, and I'd probably I'm not gonna lie, I could have hurt a lot of people too, because growing up, if someone looked at me, I'd just smash them. I'd just go on. So I could.
There's a lot of hate.
I could have. to be honest, I could have killed someone.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. So
And now you're mentoring people and you're sitting in front of thousands of people.
Yeah.
And you're getting all these qualifications, mate. Like, what a change.
Yeah.
The program must have meant so much to you.
Oh, it does. Like, it was a big thing. Like, we never had a presentation for the MIWI, and it was my second year in the MIWI program. We all came to the Benyo Devils Sports Centre, like their footy ground.
Yeah.
And I was wondering why Sid wanted us to dress up in our slacks and, all that, because usually we only dress up in slacks if we're going to a place.
Yeah.
Usually it's just the polo in our, just a normal pants, like our MIWI pants. And I was like, okay, something's going on here. And, and didn't realise it was a presentation. First ever time we had a presentation. I was like, oh, could have had a heads up. I had my hair down to my shoulders and could have got a haircut and, and could have looked a bit more presentable. But, and then I remember there was a massive cup, a MIWI Cup, and it was for like the leadership, like the sort of award that goes up beyond that. And I got called. So I won it. So I couldn't believe it. And I was gobsmacked. I wasn't there. I literally, a lot of boys there, that I thought they were more leaders than me, but I guess all the coaches and stuff saw something in me. And then I remember Lathan, another teammate of mine, Lathan, got the Player of the Year. And, and so us boys, that's a moment that I won't forget. And I actually still got the trophy to this day. And then Sid gave us a key ring, and pretty sure my number was, I think I was number 14, so I was the 14th person in the program. Okay. Sid obviously took number 1.
Yeah, well.
So technically I was in the top 13, so I'll take that.
So. Let's count that. Top 13, that's good.
I'll count that. So
that's good.
Yeah, no, the key ring's still in one of my boxes at home. So
still significant. That's amazing. So you talked about your journey and how it's flipped your life, even up to grade 6 or 7, grade 9 when you hit the program and changed, graduated, did your courses, mentored people, now a mentor for other people. What if I'm just sitting here skeptical going, well, you're just one of those lucky people. Do you think the program's affected other people as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, there's a lot of us boys who still connect today from the program. Like, if it wasn't for the program, I wouldn't have met those boys. I would have just walked past them on the street, wouldn't know. But now I've got brothers that, long life mates. And we always say, when's Sid bringing a men's team? Because we want to feel a part of the team again.
Yeah, nice.
And I was saying to Sid all the time, me and a fellow teammate, Carol Burge, we always say, if they brought in the MIWI men's team even just for a carnival run, it'd be just unreal. The passion all us boys would play for Sid would, and having all the old coaches like Sid being the main person of the program. And then you have Lucas Denny, who was a coach, and then, Tristan, who was another coach as well. And we actually played a game for MIWI. We didn't actually know this. So I actually didn't know this because I thought we had a game. When I first came to MIWI program, I thought we're preparing for a game at the end of the year, but it didn't happen. And then my second year we played, and then we're playing the other program, and they were pretty much like the Titans fellas. And we all, can you imagine all of us kids rocking up, and we're all in the same jersey, but we all got our club pants on, and these fellas rock up and they got the actual Titans gear on. And then we're like, oh, okay, here we go. We're going to get pumped here. And but, Sid really believed in us boys that day. And, Lucas Denny was there, and they said, don't matter how big them boys are, and doesn't matter what they're like and the facilities they got and how they look and stuff, just go out there and play footy. Well, we beat them 66-6 that day. We pumped them. So
I believe.
Yeah, we were actually, even a lot of parents in the crowd even said, they were gobsmacked about that. And then, so that was the first time the MIWI boys ran together, and we played boys that were actually were getting contracted, or I was told they were getting contracted and they were coming under the Titans programs, and we just showed them, we made them look like they were nothing. So.
Champion team versus a team of champions. So.
Yeah, so it was, as you said, Coach Carter, we got there and we couldn't believe it. Yeah, just shows that, footy is just more than just turn up and train. It's
a brotherhood now, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It's this program should go national. This program should be all over Queensland, New South Wales, Australia. They should instill it, because it's, like I said, it's not just about footy. It's about building people up, and, and changing the world, as I say. So
it's easy to put people down, isn't it? It's easy to put people down, but you've obviously been mentored well, and I love that you're so grateful and you pass that on, mate. So it's amazing. Now I want to ask you a question, and you haven't seen these questions either, so you're nailing this. I got a question for you. The question is, I'm guessing back when you're grade 9 and below, you've gone through a fair bit of trauma and stuff. You probably didn't have much of a vision, right? Probably just thinking day by day, getting through, and we're going to sleep next, and am I going to get in trouble again? Who am I going to bash tomorrow? Who's going to have a go at me and they're going to get flogged? Now you've gone through the program and you're helping mentor other people. What's your 2-5 year vision now? Like, what's your plans? What do you want to achieve?
Well, I really want to start a like out in my region, a lot of the youth are getting into the trouble now, and it was never like that growing up. And so I actually spoke with Sid, because he's a person of this background that knows I want to start a football game out there. It was my cousin Lane Brooks started Indigenous All-Stars game out there, which was about charity and giving it to families who had like disabilities and needed the money for it.
Yep.
And I spoke to Sid that I want to start a football program out there, and instill it where the funding all the charity goes into the youth and building like youth centres out there, getting them off the streets, getting them out of crime, and then promoting mental health in general for women and men, and making a place where people can go comfortable and be comfortable.
Yeah,
like just somewhere they can go, and and then I want to the game itself too. I want to incorporate another culture, which was the Fijian boys, because there's a lot of Fijian boys that come out that way, and I would go like splitting the money with them so they can build their community in their country and help like with the cyclones and getting their people off the streets as well. Because I've been to Fiji twice and I've seen how they lived, and it makes you really give a perspective of life, how grateful you are in life. So that's kind of what I want to do, and get I had mentors like Preston Campbell, who played a big thing with my mental health in my life as well, and I got in touch and want to get him involved and bring his bring the foundation, just try and get something out there that where all communities, whether you're Indigenous, non-Indigenous, from the city, from not, just come out there and go for that one day of football where there's women, men's, and then hopefully one day could be junior football as well, and make a whole day of it, just promoting health, getting kids off the streets, and just
getting some identity and some pride in who they are.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because a lot of Indigenous kids, are afraid to speak, and I think just in kids in general, it's not even about Indigenous kids. There's a lot of kids in general too that just don't, they don't know the meaning of it. Ain't weak to speak. So just to bring that up,
it's awesome, man. It's a good vision.
Yeah, it's a big vision. I have a bit of doubt where I can get it, but as I said, Sid's a good mentor where he can get me to that, and I think it'd bring a lot of, bring me to tears on that day when it does happen, because it's like, well, I'm helping kids that, been through what I've been through, and, everyone connects with football. Like just something.
I was going to say, do you think sports are a really good catalyst for that? Not just men and women. Do you think sports like a connector?
Oh, absolutely. Like I think if you go down, like Adelaide and stuff, their connections, AFL, Queenslanders, we love rugby league, and like sport connects everyone, whether it's soccer, football, could be anything really. Like I think like if you go to a country like England, they're big on soccer. Yeah, they all get brought in from soccer. So sports is a big thing. Like I like what Preston Campbell did with the Indigenous All-Star Game, promoted like about Indigenous health and communities for the week, and then the game was just like like the big icing on the cake. Yeah, and it's kind of like what I want to instill, but like more of a weekend thing. Like Friday, like on a Friday, I would want to do like a gala ball. Yeah, promoting that's so good. Like health and get communities in together. Like even like showing like young folks, like bringing the mining corporations, like you can get into this mining corporation, and just try something. It's just a start thinking process now, and then hopefully in 5 years' time, it'll be up and running, and hopefully everyone will see it. Yeah.
Do you actually pinch yourself sometimes and realise the words you're actually saying now compared to the kid you used to be?
Yeah, I actually sometimes you look in the mirror and you can see that old kid. Yeah, but
what do you see? I was going to ask you then, like when you look in the mirror now, what do you see? I'm not talking physical characteristics. Like the man you are now, what do you see? Do you still see some of those demons, or do you still, what do you see now?
I still see a couple of those little demons, but from what I've been taught from Sid, Mr. Myers, all my mentors growing up, my mum, my father, my siblings, just all that sort of stuff. Like everyone played an impact in my life, and whether it was good or bad, and taught me the lessons I learned. So when I look in the mirror now, I see the demon, but I see a proud young father. I got twin girls I raised since I was three months old due to their mother passing away from taking her own life.
Yeah, sorry to hear that.
So, you know,
tough.
I grew up pretty quick, and, you know, to sit there and think that, well, I raised, let alone twins, but girls. So, and I'm very grateful for my mentors because they taught me a lot of things that I instill in my kids, you know, like whether it's, you know, just believing in myself, like just anything really. And grateful for my mum too for, you know, what she's done for me. And, you know, yeah, but like I said, if it wasn't for Sid, I wouldn't know who I am culturally. Like as a man, you know, I'd be that person on the street that you see that's a grown man but immature. I'd be that person still, and in and out of jails, I reckon. And then, yeah, and if it wasn't for Sid in the program, I probably wouldn't be the father I am too. So
he's a mentor throughout everything, not just footy. And
yeah, Sid wasn't just a mentor to me. He was like a father figure as well, if I'm being honest. So
yeah. We're grateful for those people, aren't they? Change your life.
Yeah,
sometimes you don't realise how much change they do. You know, you don't actually know the impact you have. You probably don't even know the impact you actually have on people, and you may never know.
No,
so you keep doing good things, mate, and it's amazing what you're doing.
Yeah, no, I get like random people on the street sometimes too. One takes selfies with me and photos, and I don't even know who they are. And you know, because I started playing darts, and I was getting really good at darts, and you know, and I did a lot of things on TikTok, like just, you know, as they say, like I didn't have this fancy gear of a podcast, but I just sit on there and have yarns about mental health, and because I'm real big on mental health because I have it diagnosed with it, and I like to instill that just because you have that doesn't mean you're a bad person.
Yeah.
Sometimes I need reminding about that.
Yeah.
And thank God for my missus. She does it to me every day, reminds me of how good of a bloke I am. So I'm
She's a keeper then. Keep hold of her.
She's looking for that ring, but I told her she'll be waiting for a while.
I don't know about that. All right, let's get a bit of fun now, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Let's get to know you a bit more. What's your favourite food?
Favourite food? I don't mind a good old turtle, but
nice.
But a lot of people, I'll say I like I love anything with lamb, but potato bake's a big thing.
What was it?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, for out there, I don't eat fruit and veg.
Okay.
I'm a big protein eater. I love good protein.
All right, carnivore. No worries.
Yeah. Up the carnival.
Favourite drink?
Favorite drink? I love me juice.
I
love juice.
Okay.
Because I don't really drink, so I don't do alcohol. If I have one beer, I'll be blind. So
okay.
That's just true fact. Yeah. And so I'm not a drinker, but I love a good old juice, or I love good old like the good old soft drink from Moree, Lilymans.
Oh, okay.
So they got the Lilymans factory out there. And
nice.
When I went for a first cruise and discovered my Nen side out there was a couple of years ago, which was with Caleb McGrady, who was a part of the program. He actually found out who my mob was for me.
Oh,
so
nice.
Again, the program found family that I never found.
Fine threads in it. Wow.
And he showed me this factory called Lilymans, and I had a drink of it. It came in the good old glass bottle with the pot with the cork in it.
Yeah.
Oh man, that just unreal.
It's making me thirsty now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you have a favourite movie? It's going to be Coach Carter now.
Oh God. Well, you can't beat the good old rab-proof fence. But
you know, my missus showed me that once, and I just bawled my eyes out. I think she set me up. She's like, "Check this out." And I was like, I was cooked.
I don't know, like something about love the good old Littlefoots, like Land Before Times. Oh, can't beat them.
Yeah, no,
but
okay.
One that really played a big thing with me was like I think the Green Mile.
Oh yeah,
I've never cried in a movie before. That that connected with me somehow. I don't know what it was. So yeah,
bit of justice in that one.
Yeah, for sure.
What about favourite music style?
Country. Love Alan.
Oh, you love country too.
Love Alan Jackson.
Do you?
Love Alan Jackson.
Do you want to belt something out now or not?
No, can't do that. But love Alan Jackson. My cousin, big shout out to Nick Jackson, Say True God. He's a rapper around Brisbane. He raps about his childhood experiences, and and there's a saying that he actually said that, as we touched on before, like you felt different from each side. Well, he says the saying in there, I'm too black for the polys and too poly for the blacks.
Yeah.
Because he's half Tongan, half Aboriginal. So messages like him too. Like he's a big leader. So I love his music as well. So
nice. Favorite leisure time activity? You got a couple of hours yourself. What are you doing?
Love darts. Big thing now at the moment is going for walks with my family. So my missus and kids, and
you're a family man, aren't you?
Big family man. Yeah. So like I said, I want to raise my daughters raise them in the way how I was taught, and mentored. So
Yeah, pass it on.
Definitely.
What about favourite NRL footy team?
Oh, well, I was a part of their programs and I was getting contracted to them, but Gold Coast Titans all the way.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, big shout out to Preston Campbell, Dean Withers, and Clinton Tooby. They were my mentors. So
yeah, well done, gentlemen. Did you work on this young man? Well done. Probably still doing it now. What about? Do you have a pet hate? Something you hate? But do you have a characteristic in a person that really frustrates you?
I'll get in trouble for this, but my missus leaves everything on. Lights, fans.
Does she?
Yeah, and she knows. I swear she does it on purpose, but something I don't like is mess. I'm a clean freak.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what it is. Yeah, I love being clean. Yeah, sometimes I'm too over clean to the point where I can get cranky.
Really?
Over littlest things. So yeah.
Okay. All right. What about if you are? This is getting some really in-depth questions now. What if you're down to your last $20? What are you going to do with that $20?
Spend it on my daughters.
Lovely. What about if you just inherited $2 million? What are you doing with that?
Probably pay off all my family's mortgages. Set them up for life. Probably start my own Indigenous company, sort of like what Sid developed. Or if Sid was to bring back the Miwi, I'd probably donate a very good portion to build a facility and build where it could be his full-time job.
Yeah, nice.
And just probably set up my family and just set up just a company where so then there's some sort of income coming in for my kids when they grow up. So
a legacy that way. All right. What if you are now sentenced to the Green Mile and you're on death row and you're only allowed to have one more meal? What is it? Is it your potato bake or are you having something different?
Oh, I reckon turtle soup, bit of fried bread. And I love good fried bread. Yeah, shout out to me mate, his mum's Māori and she's like my second mum. She made fried bread for me for the first time.
Okay, I'm sorry, I have to cut you off there. What is fried bread? I'm thinking of just in the toaster.
I assume it's just bread that they fry in oil. I don't really know. But
I like the sizzler old one, maybe the cheesy bread.
I've never been to a sizzler, so I don't really know. So.
Sorry. Fried bread, all right.
But yeah, fried bread. Yeah, I was
turtle soup, fried bread.
Yeah. Well, at my 21st, I actually had the fried bread. And I was dipping in the turtle, so it was probably one of the best.
Makes you feel like you want to go to death row. This is good. Okay.
Yeah. I'd love to have a bit of fried bread, but the New Zealand pies, they're good. So I don't really know. Yeah, I love to have a feed. So yeah, kangaroo tail, that's beautiful. So, I don't know anything meat. Love meat.
You're the carnivore, the protein man. All right. We're nearly finished here. I just want to ask one more question. Is this is a question I often ask on the podcast, and it stumps a lot of people. If you're stuck on a deserted island and you can only take 3 people, but those 3 people aren't your family members, right?
Yep.
And it can be anyone in the world. Which 3 people are going on the island with you?
Well, that's a hard question because you put them in a bad predicament as well.
Yeah,
so.
But they're looked after. You're stuck there. But who do you want stuck there with you if you can't get your family there?
Oh, you'd have to, or Jonathan Thurston's great-grandmother and my great-grandmother's sisters.
Oh, wow.
So I'd probably take JT for a laugh.
Yeah, mate, that'd be good.
Just keep your laughter.
He would just laugh and we'd laugh.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'd probably take, oh, God. I might take Sid. He could probably start a politician on this island, or he's got some sort of background where he would know something. You wouldn't lack conversation there on the island, would you? Nah, definitely not. Well, and Sid's background, when he told us that, Eddie Marber used to go to his house and borrow his dad's seats and stuff. So he would know something about getting us some coin from the government. And, God, yeah, I'd probably. That's a very hard question. I'd probably take probably a good friend of mine. She plays in the NRL is Jamie Chapman. Yeah, she does a lot for the community, and she's just got an aura about her that you just feel happy around us.
Yeah, nice association. Yeah. That's good. Mate, is there anything on the podcast I have not asked you that you want to share or that we may have missed?
I'm just forever grateful. Yeah, big. Just want to pay my respects to the elders, past and present as well. Due to I've been through a ceremony where I have a skin name which is Mullion, which means wedge-tailed eagle, so I've got to pay that respect. Yeah, just forever grateful for. Yeah, thank you for letting me come on and speak on your podcast. Where my good old mate Joshy Kerr didn't know he was on it, so shout out to Joshy. I'm forever grateful that my story wants to be heard and hopefully it touches someone out there in meaning. And I'm just very grateful and I'm thankful for the MiWi program to make me the man today. Thankful for all my mentors that did what they did for me because I never forget. And just hopefully I can influence someone in the near future. And yeah, that's all I'm thankful.
But mate, well, I'm the grateful one, and I didn't even know you until we actually rocked up today, and I just think that the story you've told, which I don't even know about, is, a lot of people make excuses about their life or their circumstance, and you've turned that around, and you've got some mentors to do that.
Yeah.
But you've gone through all the tough stuff, and you go through tough stuff every day with family, and that's life as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But you're making a change now, and you could have easily gone the other way. You've lived that, and they're going to influence so many people. So, people around you are going to be grateful for you.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
and big thanks to my missus as well, because I wake up days where, you do have those demons, and she reminds me every day that I'm that
support.
Good person. So yeah.
She almost deserves a ring, I think. But anyway, we'll
yeah. And in the near future, she'll be looking over me right now, smiling. So that's why I'm looking straight.
Mate, well done. Well done your journey. Look forward to hearing the next part of your chapter, and well done to the program, what it's done for you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
And mate, all the best for the future.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.